Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ, and I'm working with Tatty Treasure Patreon Digitals today. I've got a fun little project, well I hope it's fun, that I was just tinkering with this morning. So it's this. I made up a little sample because I haven't seen this anywhere. I didn't know whether it would work, so I thought, lesson learned from previous times when it hasn't quite worked, so let's do up a little test run, and yeah, I think it works. So I'm going to call it like a floating window pocket, I guess. It'll do for now anyway. So that's what we're making. Let's go ahead and make one, shall we? So grab some supplies if you want to make along with me, or just relax and do crafting of whatever type and enjoy with me. Now I didn't do measurements on this, I just did it by eye, so kind of about 3/4 of an inch in between for our window. Okay, so to begin this project we just need a digital printable page, preferably vertically oriented, although I haven't tried it with a horizontal one. I'm sure depending on the pattern or whatever it won't matter too much, but if you've got something you want to be the right way up, then perhaps choose a different page than that one. And all I did was fold in the sides, and I'm just eyeballing this. There is no like right or wrong, but just to give you an idea, it's about 2 inches. And then the other side I roughly fold in about the same amount, so we've got this strip of plain down the center. So we do not want to meet these two sides, we don't want them to meet, we want to have that gap. Right, so that's that far. Now if you don't like having the white showing, then you can cover it in paper, you could stamp on it, you could stencil it. So I thought I'm going to stencil it today. I didn't stencil the first one because it was just a test run, but let's go ahead and stencil this one. Just grabbing out some paper in case I run over the edge of my pocket here, and I've just chosen out a botanical type stencil here, and I'm just going to go right down the middle where our aperture is, give or take. I'm not too worried. You know, we can always add a bit more if we're missing some gaps. And I just found in my stash this Versacolor Lavender ink pad, which is quite old, so hopefully it works. It seems to be working okay. And in the printables from Tatty Treasure Patreon, there's quite a number of purple based printables. So I thought we'd go with a purple vibe for today's project. That's why I'm using this lavender ink pad, and I'm going way outside the bounds of my aperture, and that is fine. Hopefully I'm in the right place, but it doesn't matter. We can always go back in and ink bits we might have missed if we've left a gap. So some butterflies in there. So let's see how we're going. Just a subtle little bit of, yeah, so you can't even tell it's a floral, but that's okay. It's detail, isn't it? So now we'll get the top bit here. Maybe we'll go with this fennel head in the top here, just to take away from that white if you are not a fan of white. If you're a fan of white, absolutely go ahead and leave it. It's absolutely fine. Just do whatever you like, whatever suits. And if you want a vintage vibe, then go ahead with your vintage photo, or is it aged paper or something? I don't have it, so I'm not sure of the correct name, but you know, something along those lines. Okay, let's have a little look. Yep, so we've just taken away from that white a bit, just given it a little bit of detail. Okay, our next step is to apply a bit of plastic. You could use acetate, plastic bag. It just needs to be the length of your paper. I'm using A4 paper, so my measurements will be slightly different to yours if you're using letter size in the States or something. So, you know, take the measurements with a grain of salt. I have cut this. It's 2 inches wide as it happens, and it is from a page protector. It's really grungy. It's been well used. It's got glitter and paint and all sorts on it. Page protector from a scrapbooking album, and this is page protectors that were given to me that had obviously been used and no longer wanted. So I'm cutting them up to use as apertures in projects like this, to use as windows. The other thing you need is some double-sided tape. You could glue it, but I do recommend, for ease of use and drying time and all that, double-sided tape works a charm. And I'm just going to run a strip right down the edge, one edge, well, both edges actually. I might as well do both at the same time. I'm just going to trim it off with the edge of the paper. Sorry, you can't see that because it's totally hidden by my hand. And I'm going to do the other side. So this just makes it super quick and easy using the tape and no mess. And there we go. See if you can see this time. Just trying to maneuver it so you can see all sorts of back to front here. There we go. Okay, and that's the only tape we need. Right, so I'm going to peel off this first strip. So make sure when you're cutting your bit of plastic or acetate or whatever you're using, firstly make sure it's something that's foldable. You don't want a heavy acetate that won't fold and crease. That's the first thing. The other thing is to make sure that it's wider than your aperture, wider than the gap between the two sides of your paper, so that you've got room to adhere it under the paper. Okay, I'm just going to place it like so. Then I'm going to come over here and peel off this strip over here. Oops. Not the tape, just the backing paper is a good idea. So annoying when you start peeling it up and it's taking the tape up with it. Right, so I'm going to lay this side, we've already glued down is what I was going to say, but we didn't glue it, stuck down. I'm going to lay that flat, and then I'm going to bring this side up over and stick that down. So now we've got this full-sized vertical window. Now I'm just going to come in and trim off the excess of the plastic from the ends. Oops, there's a bit of tape overhang there as well, sticking to my scissors. Get rid of those little bits. Okay, I don't think we need this anymore, so let's move that out of our way. Right, so far so good. Are you still with me, guys? Is it making sense? Please let me know if there's any issues with my instructions. Right, now I'm just going to give that a bit of a rundown, the edges, to give them a slightly different crease, because that will move with the acetate, and it will move again once we fold it. And I had worked that one out already because of my little sample, so I worked out a way to fix that as well. Okay, so now we need to fold it up. It's up to you how far you fold it and which way you fold it, whether you've got a pattern that you want something to show up the right way. This pattern here, I don't think it really matters which way. I think the pattern itself works either way. I'm going to fold it up here. Give it a crease down the bottom. I'm going to use my little tool here. Give it a nice sharp crease along the bottom. And then if you've got any buckling here, come into the middle and hold it flat, and then ease out the creases on the side. So they'll sit slightly differently than when it's open flat. And that takes away the buckling. Okay, I've just got a little bit of glitter in there. It's distracting me. Oh, don't know where it's gone. Okay, there might just be a random bit of glitter, gold bit of glitter in this. Okay, so what we have now is we have our base. We need to glue up the sides. Just glue down each side. Oh, I can see the glitter. It's on my desk, so I did get it out. And again, just smoothing out from the center so you don't get that, you get minimal buckling. Oh, there's still another bit of glitter. No, it doesn't want to come out. Never mind. Yep, did come out. Always comes out when you don't want it to. Oops, get a bit of glue seepage there. Okay, so there's our base all glued up and ready to do the next stage with, and that's decorating. So we have a pocket back here, we have our window pocket in the front, and then flip it over and we have our window pocket here, and then it floats, so you can pop that in a pocket or a tuck spot or a belly band, all the usual places that you might want to pop a piece of ephemera. Okay, so to decorate this up, I really want to add a bit of lace. You could use washi tape, you could use a strip of paper and glue it on, but I liked the idea of a little bit of lace, so we still get the view through the window, through the lace. I think that's going to look super pretty. I just haven't decided how I want to finish it at the back. Like, do I just want to overlap it or have it meet somewhere on the back? Not entirely sure. Or I could have it ending at the aperture so it doesn't go across the aperture, but I think I like it going across the window. I think I'm just going to slightly overlap it. Okay, now that I've made that crucial decision, so I'm going to grab my alcohol-based glue, which is my preference for things like lace and fabric. Work out which side is up. Don't think it matters with this lace, so let's just go with this. I'm going to lay glue down when it comes out. There we go. Like so. I'm just putting it right up against that top edge of the pocket. Still a little buckly, but it's okay. Once it's got things in it, like that bit of buckling is probably actually a good thing because it will give more room in your pocket for your ephemera. Okay. So now we'll glue the back. So I hope everyone's having a fabulous day today. Got some good plans or some relaxing plans or something, or no plans at all. That can be quite nice, have no plans at all. slightly higher on that side. I think it's already stuck. That's all right, it doesn't matter. So on the back it's purely just decoration across the back, and on the front it's on the top of the pocket. Sorry about that, I just needed to take care of my nose. It likes to drip in winter, and we're not even in winter yet, but we're close. I've got glue all over me. Okay, so far so good. How are we going? Are you making along? Are you following the steps? Right. So we could decorate that up further, but I think what I want to do now is get on with the ephemera to put in it, and then we can work out whether we want to add anything on top or not, because we're going to get bits showing through the window here. So first up, we've got this beautiful, it's absolutely stunning lilac tag from Tatty Treasure, which is, I was going to tell you the name, but it's been cut off on my printer, so I'm sorry, I can't tell you the name of it. And there's some really pretty faux washi there as well. So let's just cut out this tag. And I suspect it's going to be slightly too small. Oops, my scissors have got sticky tape residue on them. So let's just give them a quick clean so I'm not fighting with that for the rest of the video. So I'm just using a wet wipe very, very carefully so that I don't cut myself. I haven't cut myself yet, but I'm aware that one day it could actually happen. But this is the best way I've found of just getting that sticky residue off my scissors, because it's super annoying. Right, okay, on with the show. Much better. Now the pieces of paper are actually falling away instead of getting stuck up on my scissors. If you don't have digitals, then you could make this from a book page of a suitable size. Any paper really, you know, just a bit of photocopy paper that's coloured, or you stenciled, or you paint on, or what have you. Now I was thinking of this in the here, and it's definitely too small. Okay, so no for there, but we could pop it in there, and I think that looks nice in there. Okay, it does need backing, it's only on paper. Oh, that's torn, so no, not that, unless we collaged it. No, save that for something else. No, that's too light. I'm looking for a heavier paper. Sorry, I'm fossicking outside of your vision. Here we go. Let's use some of this packing paper. Tear a piece off. Rescued from hubby's work. I just love it. I keep my eyes open whenever I go there to see if there's any lying around that they don't want, because it's just awesome. And because you can fold it into its segments and then just tear a bit off, it's wonderful. Right, let's get some glue onto this. Oh, I did not get that all glued. How weird is that? My gluing skills are falling down, people. Oh no. Maybe it's toying with me because I used double-sided tape. It's going, no, you rejected it, so we're rejecting you. Of course, you can come up with all sorts of stories, can't you, while you're crafting? Right, cut that out. Sometimes my lack of space really gets to me. Other times it's fine. One day I'll get back into my studio where I've got lots and lots of desk space. But yeah, I've got to be able to get to the desk before I can work at it. So yeah, it's the long-term project. It's the downside of having had a shop and then bringing everything home once you close down the shop and just having no space for anything. So my studio is more of a storeroom. So I've got enough room to get in the door, then shut the door, then work my way around the room by shifting things as I go, and then as I come back out I've got to reshift them so I can get back out again. I tell you, it's like if that Hoarders program came, they'd have a field day. But it's just that we need, oh, it's kind of pretty in that front pocket too, but it is going to go in the back pocket, I think. So in this back pocket, so I'm just going to put that there for now, let it hang out and dry a bit. And then they've got these smaller tags. Oh, now there's an idea. Oh, okay. I just had an idea of something I wasn't planning. But just looking at the way these are laid out on the page. Just wondering about folding them and making it like an openable tag journal card thing, or flip out journal card. I don't know, what would you call it? What do you call it? I know it's not a new idea, but just seeing the way these are laid out, there is a gap between them, so I don't know if it's going to work, but let's give it a go. Let's fold those two corners together. And I don't even know if they're at the same height on the paper. We shall see. And this will tell, cutting out the tops will soon reveal whether they are actually aligned on the paper or not. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Excellent. I love it when a plan comes together. Not that it was planned. And like this pocket is wide enough that you could certainly put something wider in there, and you could separate these and have two tags in there. It's not quite wide enough to fit them both joined without folded. So what I think I would do is I'll only do one for the purpose of this video, but I could add a journal card or a bigger tag or something inside that pocket and really load it up and turn it into an ephemera holder. Super cute. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm also going to back this because it's fairly lightweight. It is just photocopy paper, so let's glue it onto our brown paper here. Give it a bit more heft, make it a bit more sturdy, and let's try and get glue all over this time. Oh, I'm so happy that worked. It was a bit of a gamble, but it worked. So, super cool. I'm just going to do this for ease. I get frustrated when I'm working with big pieces of paper that are a lot bigger than what they need to be when I'm trying to cut. So I cut as I go, cut off excess. Do love this pretty top on these tags. It's a lot of fun. And it's not difficult to cut out either. I probably should have folded this and then cut them both together so that they matched up perfectly, but oh well. Because I feel like I'm taking extra little divots here and there. Never mind, I'm sure it will be fine. Nothing I can't fix with a little bit of trimming here and there. Until I end up with something that's this big, because I've kept cutting and kept cutting. Has that happened to you? Where you're trying to fix something up and you end up going so far in your efforts to try and straighten something up that you end up with literally a pointless exercise because it becomes so small and not what you needed. Time to bin it and start again. Right, let's give it a wee smooth down, which I should have done before I trimmed it because it probably pushed the paper over the edge. Oh well, we'll just trim it again if needed. Right, and let's fold it back up. Give it a nice press along that fold line. So we have got that white, very small amount of white along the fold line. So if you didn't like that, you could certainly ink it. And I think I'm going to do this lavender ink right around the whole thing, I think. And I'll probably go back and do that larger tag as well. Been really breaking out away from the vintage photo lately and experimenting with different colours around the edges. And I do like using different colours. Just gives it a little bit of something different. So you don't need distress inks to distress around the edge. Any ink pad is going to work. Just grab yourself a little sponge, little makeup sponge like this one, and go for it. Don't need to have the expensive supplies to achieve, you know, a good result. And these little Versacolor ink pads are, well, last time I bought one they were like $4 or something. They're probably dearer now, but you know, one of the cheaper options if you're looking at things like the distress inks, which are a bit pricier. Oops, finding it a bit difficult to, that's better, to get in around there. I was bending too much on me. Right, it's not super showing up on this, so I'm just going to keep going around because, you know, I don't want it to look half done, half undone, even if it's not really showing up all that well. There we go. Yeah, it is showing in places, so yeah. Okay, so there's our cute little double tag in the front there. Yeah, so I'll go back and ink this, but I won't take the time to do that now. Okay, so we do need a larger tag for this back here. And I'm wondering if there's anything in the kits that might work. Just having a little... I don't think there's anything tall enough from memory. Oh, there's some pretty journal. Oh, hang on. No, hold the phone. We have this. Let's cut that out. Isn't that pretty? So again, I've managed to cut the name off, so I can't tell you which kit this belongs with. But it is one of the freebies from Tatty Treasure on Patreon. But they all have matching kits on Etsy that they go with, so. And I just remembered I forgot to turn my alarm off, and it's due to go off very soon, so maybe I'll take a moment to turn it off now, so we don't get interrupted with that noise. Just give me a few seconds. Okay, I thought it's better to do that now, take a break and just turn that off rather than have the noise of it give me like, oh, I forgot to turn it off when it does go off. Okay, yes, that is going to be almost perfect in there. I do want to back it, I think, again. So let's go with our trusty brown paper. I think I'm going to change out my glue page because it was getting a bit sticky. So this is a journal card as opposed to a tag. Good to put some different types of ephemera in your pockets when you're using, you know, got multiple things, multiple pockets happening. And I do like to do it from both sides, if I remember, just to make sure it gets the bubbles of the paper. Like when you're using recycled paper like this, you know, you get wrinkles and bubbles and things, so it helps smooth those out, as well as make sure that the glue spreads and sticks everywhere. It's a beautiful sunny day today. It's quite cold at the moment, but I think it's going to be lovely once it warms up outside a bit. But just beautiful blue sky, sunny day, which is awesome, as we're very soon going to head into winter. We're in the last month of autumn here in New Zealand. Yes, lovely. And I love that it pokes up just a little bit, so you can, you know, get hold of it and grab it. Do I want to add anything to this? Maybe we want a word or something. What might we like on here? Want quite a, oh, sunshine. I was just talking about sunshine. Along with cat here. Okay, I quite like that. I'm feeling like a label, so I'm pop pop those aside because I've got things all over my desk. So let's get rid of that paper because I don't think we're going to need it anymore for this project. Oh, these are pretty. This is called Rustic Lilac, so maybe where this comes from, I'm not sure. Definitely this tag I think will be Rustic Lilac because it's got the lilacs on it. But isn't it stunning? So can I find a place to use, maybe we could use one of these in here. Okay, I'm going to put that aside for a moment. I'm going to grab back that brown paper. Is it wide enough? Oh, just, I think. We can just squeak it on because I really want to use this one. It's so pretty. And pop this in the front pocket with that double tag is my idea, my plan. I'm just going to do a little, yep, you won't see it through the window, but that's fine because you get this lovely flower, but you get a little bit of the top peeking up, so I think that's fun. Let's get some glue on it. Making sure now that I get lots of glue on it. Alright, I need this to go right up to the edge. I think it was fairly close to just about the perfect size, I think. Yeah, and I knew it went in here, so I had to get it to fit the gap, and we did it, so that's happy days. And that bit off, and let's give that a good press down. So I will ink all these up off camera just to save you, because I've already done some inking. So, and I will do it on the brown paper as well because it does show just a little hint of it. So I think it's worth doing. And we could put something in the middle here. It's got like this little frame area. What would we put in there though? Obviously we wouldn't go flower because there's already a flower. We could put like a little word or something. It's not quite the right thing. Just wondering, I do have some smaller. Where did I put them? They're not in there. My horizontal ones, I pulled them all out, and I found in my vertical ones, I found one was still hiding. Just looking for a small. No, that doesn't really fit. Don't want yellow. Big. This is purple tones. Oh, I actually like that. It says you can do it. That's one that's not available on Etsy. It's just one I did up for my own use. And then I decided, well, I was making it for public consumption, and then I decided that the font wasn't very visible. It was a bit hard to read on some of them, so I changed the font for the public kit, and I just kept the test print for myself to use. So this is what it's from. Glue stuck on my thumb. Center that. Oops. Center it and then move it so it wasn't straight. Oh, that's cute. I like that. Okay, and I think these corners are slightly rounded, but I think I'm going to go in with my corner rounder and do them with a bigger curve. Oops. When it decides to work nicely. There's little fragments left. Right, there we go. Give it a bit of a straighten out. And that can go in there. And as I said, I will ink it up. Actually, I think I want it the other way around. So a bit more of the, oops, a bit more of the purple shows. Yep. A bit more of that purple. Sweet. Okay, so we've got a tag, a journal card, and a double tag. And then on this side, we have our big journal card, which we started decorating but didn't get very far because I suddenly diverted, didn't I? Okay, we do have these lovely faux washi strips. Let's have a wee play and see what we can do. Not sure which one I'm wanting to go with. They're quite narrow, so there's two quite narrow ones and one slightly wider. Oops, I don't think I'm cutting that very straight because I'm trying to hurry. Here's an idea. Do we want to leave them all together? Or would that be a bit weird? Kind of thinking maybe two of them together. Oops, we're all curly. Just give it a little straighten out. I actually kind of like that. I think it's a little bit different, a little bit unexpected, I guess. And let's ink up our elements because we can't ink them up once they're down. So what I might do as well is just ink that white strip just a little bit at the top and bottom, because where the word is not going to show. So just a little bit at the top and bottom, and then let's do our word. And this is on Etsy. This is my Vertical Words Plus kit. I love using them. Very good for vertical things where you need something a bit taller. Snuggles is being naughty. She's clawing at the carpet in the hallway. She might want out. I've got the door shut to keep it a bit warmer inside, but it means that she can't get out if she wants to. There we go. And I think that's all that needs. It's got beautiful things happening. It's got some music notes here. It's got the florals, the leaves, some text, lovely border, which I will ink as well. So I don't think we need to add anything else. Where's my pocket gone? Here we go. I lost it for a moment. And we could load this pocket up as well. We could put an even slightly wider journal card in it, or a big tag. We could put another journal card in here, or another tag or something. But I think for now, I think I'm going to call that done. I love it. I think it's cool, and it's just a little bit different with these long windows in the front and the back, and then pop it into wherever in a journal, or send it in Happy Mail, load it up with ephemera. You could even put, one other thought, is there one here? I'm sure there is, but whether I can find it. Did I leave it out? That's a possibility. Oh, maybe I didn't leave it out, but this will be enough of an example. This has got slightly purplish tones in it. It's more grey and sort of greenish, but it could work. But you could even add a little tuck spot here, like, you know, make it the width of one of the sides, and then have a little ticket or something poking out as well. So you could add even more pockets if you liked. You could turn this into a belly band if you like, but then you'd lose the effect of the window if you had something tucked in. But I love it. I think it's cool. I hope you love it too. Let me know if you make it. Let me know what you think of this wee project, and let me know if there's any issues with my instructions or directions or anything. Yeah, because I'm fully aware that I may not have explained things well enough. Thanks so much for joining me. Do head along to check out Tatty Treasure on Patreon if you're interested in supporting her, and grabbing some of these beautiful, beautiful digital pages to work with. I'm also on Patreon, so just a wee plug for myself as well. I've got a bucket load of printables as well on mine. Different style than Tanya's, definitely different style. But yeah, go check us out. Again, thank you for joining me. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.